Salax, Wolves versus Leeds. I mean, we did call it. We in our sort of pre-match game, we did sort of say that Leeds were going to win. But yeah, did you sort of see it as easy as that?
No, I didn't, to be honest. I did say there was going to be a lot of goals. I think I went for 3-2 in the end because I did think Wolves would have something about them. Getting the manager a new contract and then obviously getting Strands Larson a new contract, that's always going to boost morale. But I was listening to something really interesting today, as a matter of fact, on TalkSport. The same thing happened last season with their previous manager. So there's something very odd happening at Wolves. We've both said this. We're a big fan of the Wolves community. We love what they do. They are one of the sort of the Barclays teams, if you want to call them that, right? But something's just not happening well at the moment. I think two things I can point out. Firstly, is the fact that you can't lose so many players in the Premier League and not replace them, right? Like, if you look at some of the stats of some of the players that they lost, right? Cunha was one of their top goal scorers, and Aït-Nouri was one of their top assisters, right? That's a lot of goals you're going to lose, right? Same thing was obviously question marks around Brentford, but Brentford have bounced back. They found other players that could potentially sort of step in and do that, but you just can't do this in the Premier League and expect things to go your way, right? And considering how much money has been put into so many other clubs, right? Likes of Sunderland, even Leeds, obviously themselves as well, and then obviously Burnley have still stepped up as well, right? Looking at both some of those other clubs you mentioned, right? Burnley got a great draw against Nottingham Forest, and Sunderland came back with 10 men against a team like Aston Villa. So Wolves, something's going horribly wrong, and if nothing changes, it's going to be a relegation fight. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree with all those points that you've made. I think Leeds just sort of showed that these teams coming up from the Championship, and obviously the experience they had when they were in the Premier League previously, is that they're not going to lie down. They're not going to just sit back and see what happens in matches. I think they're just going to go for it, and I think they know that they've got a wounded Wolf in front of them, and after getting a goal behind, we thought, oh, okay, maybe this could be Wolves' day, but. Yeah, and then just to concede 3 goals, I mean, it's really, really poor to see, and it does feel like our prediction is coming true. I think Wolves are going to struggle, and I think if they don't make some big sort of signings in the winter transfer window, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for them. And fair play to Leeds, they deserve the win, and yeah, let's see what happens in game week 6 for the Wolves.
Wolves fans, make sure you get in touch. We'd love to hear your thoughts.